Possibly as early as this week. Let's welcome in Alan Mendenhall, former Alabama Assistant Attorney General, joining us now. Great to see you, Alan.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
All right, so much was made about this deal dropping the weaponization fund, but this seems to be like a pretty good deal for President Trump and his kids as well.
Well, yeah, the deal hasn't changed a whole lot. If anything, it's kind of narrowed. The IRS audit protection has narrowed. And so, you know, I think what we're going to see is this confirmation happen. I mean, Blanche is going to go before the full Senate. The Republicans, there are 53 Republicans, actually 52 if you say Mitch McConnell is sort of out of action here. Yeah. And then 45 Democrats, but 2 independents, Angus King and Bernie Sanders, of course. So I would predict that all 47 Democrats and independents vote no. Fetterman's always, you know, a little bit of an unpredictable person, but I suspect he'll vote no on this. But with McConnell absent, there'll only be 99 senators voting. That means Republicans have 52 votes. They could lose both Murkowski and Susan Collins and still get a 50-49 vote for confirmation. And I suspect that that's what's going to happen, and it will happen before the week is out.
And there's always the Vice President, J.D. Vance, too, if you need an extra vote for Republicans. Let's take a listen here to Thom Tillis talking about Blanche.
If you want to talk about weaponization, take a look at the Biden administration. Take a look at the Obama administration. Take a look at Crossfire Hurricane. Take a look at the codes that Lois Lerner used in the IRS to target businesses to try and unbank them. Take a look at the prospective pardons on the way out the door that President Biden did for family members, for staff members in Congress. The bottom line is nobody is clean here. And until we start recognizing this behavior as bad, we're just going to one-up it.
What do you think was really behind Tillis and Cornyn standing in the way of Blanche's nomination?
Well, I think they had genuine concerns about the anti-weaponization fund. They were concerned that the fund wasn't actually rescinded, and that's why they wanted the written order stating that it was rescinded and that it has no force and effect and that there is no fund. They basically wanted assurances that it was dead, and they have that now. So I think that's a positive development, and it'll enable Blanche's nomination to go forward. And even if it hadn't gone forward, I still think because his nomination was pending in the Senate, he could have kept serving as the acting AG. If the nomination had been withdrawn by the president or returned to the Senate, there would have been a new kind of 210-day clock under that Federal Vacancies Reform Act. But Blanche could have served until the Senate adjourned in December, and then they would have recessed. And when they came back, there wouldn't have been, you know, a 2-person opposition to Blanche. The risk of that would have been if the Republicans don't do well in the midterms and they lose their majority. And so that would have been a big risk. But I still think Blanche would have been your attorney general and will be your attorney general kind of no matter how this shook out.
Yeah, it was an interesting game of poker that President Trump was playing with Thom Tillis and John Cornyn, threatening to do exactly what you just said, pull his nomination back. He would have remained in place. I want to play a clip, too, going back to the weaponization fund. This was President Trump. He was asked about it yesterday. Take a listen.
On the fund, these were people that were treated unbelievable. 22 suicides, more than that, I think. Look at Ashley. Look at so many other things that happened. These people were treated horribly. And this fund could have given them some solace. But I thought it would be very fair for people that spent years in prison, people that were treated so badly, for in many cases people that did absolutely nothing wrong. So I view that fund as a positive, and a lot of Republicans do too, not so many Democrats.
President Trump is right. A lot of Republicans looked at the way that many people in his cabinet, the president, other people around him, people that supported his policies, the way they were targeted by the Biden administration. And this was a way to make good on some of that. How do you hold the Biden administration and the DOJ accountable for their weaponization practices?
Yeah, I mean, there's no question that the Biden administration elevated the lawfare to a degree we haven't seen before. And typically, when you see something like, I don't know, that January 6th doesn't have a whole lot of counterparts, but when you see something where the government is trying to investigate. They typically try to investigate the people at the top or hold people at the top accountable. And what was different about January 6th was they were going after all these individuals in the crowd, and that was a little different. They were trying to make examples of sort of the common man rather than people at the top. But the Biden administration, we saw lawfare that was just out of control. The things that have happened to John Eastman, for example, just terrible. And, the Democrats have been out to destroy people and destroy people's livelihood and destroy people's lives. And when that happens, it typically ends up in a spiral, and so until we learn kind of civility and play by the rules and all that kind of stuff, we're going to see tit for tat. And
John Eastman put in shackles and handcuffs, Peter Navarro put in shackles and handcuffs, pulled off a plane for contempt of Congress. There are a lot of people now that say if that doesn't happen to Dr. Fauci for him being in contempt of Congress, then we don't have equal justice here in this country. We will see. Rand Paul did put out that contempt of Congress notice today. We'll see where that goes. Alan Mendenhall, great to have you with us. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
A cargo ship has